Here we are, Summer Game Fest 2022. The official live stream has now come to an end. It's a day after, and I've kind of sat here, trying to think about all of these games because there was a good 2 hour presentation of games that they've shown off. A lot of them announced, some of them not announced, some of them just finally showing gameplay, right? And I was trying to figure out like what my favorite announcements were and what my favorite trailers were. Like what are my top games from this, right? Because there were a lot. But I would say that like there were very few that actually blew me away. I wouldn't say it was a bad presentation. There's a lot of good stuff on the horizon. But there were only a couple things that I was really like, wow, like that looks really, really cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about like the top 5 things that I liked at Summer Game Fest. And, of course, the number one, which hopefully you guys will agree with me, looks like the best game that was shown off. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, it's not a newly announced game or anything like that. However, they announced that Casey Jones is joining the lineup, which I am super excited about this game. I haven't talked about it much, if at all, on the channel, but I am very, very excited for this game. And the big announcement from this trailer was Casey Jones and the fact that the game is coming out next week. That's right. Like, they were like, yeah, in a week you'll be able to play this. And everybody was waiting for it. Everybody, like, with all the rumors and leaks and stuff coming out, people were like, it's got to be coming out soon, like within the next couple weeks here. Because it kept saying summer 2022. They're like, late summer, midsummer, like when? And they were like, nope, it's coming out next week. So this is definitely one of the announcements that I was super excited for. And one of the other things, too, is it's coming to Game Pass, which, as a big fan of Game Pass, I was super happy to hear that because I was like, man, I can play this online with 5 other people, six players online, and I can just play it as a part of my Game Pass subscription. I don't have to fork out extra money for it to see if I actually really like it. I don't think there's really going to be a problem with that whatsoever. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, especially with multiple people. So I cannot wait till next week when this drops. This is not a game that I'm going to be playing myself at all. Like, it's just too much for me. I talked about this in a previous E3 video here, but it's too damn scary for me. I'm a big wuss, and I can't deal with it. I'm not going to be able to play this. But Callisto Protocol, the Callisto Protocol, looks awesome. Like I said in a previous video, this is a game I would love to sit down next to a friend and watch them play so I can see the story and watch all the scary moments and stuff like that. But to actually have to be in control of the player while all this stuff is happening, I think it's too much for me. I wouldn't be able to handle it. But the reason I included it is because it looks awesome. This looks amazing. I really wish that this was some kind of a cinema movie experience because it looks super, super cool. During the Summer Game Fest, they actually unveiled some of the gameplay. Previously, they only showed a trailer with like very minimal, pieces of gameplay in the trailer. This, they actually gave like a nice demo of the game here to show you what it's like to be on this space station, tearing up weird zombies with boils all over their faces. I don't know what they're referred to or what the issue is. There's obviously a very big problem going on, but the game just looks amazing. As a old school horror fan, for sure. Like I cannot wait to see more about this game. This might even be like a live stream game for me. Like if I don't have a friend that wants to play this, I might just watch it on somebody's live stream and watch them play it here. During this demo too, here you'll see that they actually showed off not just some of the combat we just saw with the the gun the guy is packing against zombies without his armor, but you can see here he gets his armor on. Very Dead Space, because this is from the original crew that brought you Dead Space. It's got a lot of the same stuff in it. You can see his life bar in the back of his helmet. You could see that the armor is very, very similar. But just how spooky this feels, the atmosphere, everything about it is just like, wow. This part right here is what got me, though. This guy's being pulled into this turbine. Look at his face, and they just get sucked in. Oh, my God. Yeah, I couldn't deal with it. I'm not one to get excited about cinematics. When they show a cinematic only for a game at E3, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. We'll see what the game actually looks like, right? Because cinematics are just like a small piece of the game puzzle, right? They look beautiful, sure. But, like, what is the game like? How does it play? How many hours are we going to spend doing what? You know what I mean? Unless it's literally like a movie made in a game. I don't know. Rarely does that happen unless it's like Kojima making a game, right? But regardless, the reason why I included Stormgate is because it's a lot of the original Blizzard team who broke off into a new team, and they're making a new RTS. So this game is actually up on Steam right now. You can't play it or download it or anything like that. You can't buy it. but you can see screenshots of it. And you can see, oh yes, this is definitely an RTS. The screenshots don't give enough for you to really get super excited about, but if it's the original team working on an RTS, I mean, why wouldn't you include it? Why wouldn't you be excited about this, right? And judging from the cinematic and stuff, it kind of looks like they're combining all the worlds that Blizzard used to put together into one world. So it kind of feels StarCraft, it kind of feels Diablo, it kind of feels, you know, Warcraft, because it's, you know, Warcraft is their sort of bread and butter RTS for a while there, next to StarCraft, of course. But it just looks really, really cool. I like the idea that they're just like, yeah, let's take all of these fantasy worlds, put them together into one RTS. So I'm very interested to see where this is going to go and what it's going to end up being. Again, another cinematic-only game that I'm including, but it's Goat Simulator 3. And the funniest thing about this was, like, I remember this trailer because this was, like, originally, I found out after researching that this was a trailer that they did for Dead Island 2, which is a game that at this point has almost become vaporware because no one talks about it. It hasn't been shown since it was unveiled. But you remember that they had the jogger, and the jogger would be jogging down this boardwalk here, and there'd be zombies like going around doing things behind him, which was pretty funny. And this, somehow Coffee Stain Studios got the okay to like take that trailer and add goats in the background and do the same thing. And this literally made me laugh when I was watching it. This was such a breath of fresh air from all the like Dead Space, like scary space stuff that they were showing today, like all the depressing stuff, you know. I was like, yes, finally, just like some fun. Like I love the original Goat Simulator. It is just like crazy, silly stuff. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Goat Simulator 3 here. Look at all the crazy stuff you can wear. I'm into it, guys. I'm really into it. This game, Neon White, actually leaked right before the Summer Game Fest stuff happened. But after they show the trailer here, I got to say, like, this is pretty interesting. It looks really, really cool. It's an FPS where they mix cards in for your abilities. And it's got, like, sort of this, like, floaty parkour feel to it with the movement. And it looks really, really cool. You know, I know it's no secret on the channel, I've said before that I'm not the biggest anime-inspired fan. Like, I don't dislike it, but it's just like, it's not something I look at and go like, oh, I have to play this based on that art style. But I gotta say, it actually complements this game really, really well. And it's something really, the cat's really cool, by the way. But it's really cool to see them sort of like do something a little bit different with the whole thing. Like, I feel like when you see anime and RPG together, it's like you could kind of predict what the game is going to be, right? It's going to be like one of two types of RPGs. But this is like completely different and has a completely different feel to it. And it comes out next week, which is even cooler. So yeah, Neon White, that is definitely one that I thought was cool, and I'm looking forward to checking out. Okay, so here it is. This is my final pick from Summer Game Fest, and yeah, this is one we've been waiting for a while, to the point where I was like, is this even going to come out? Is this still coming? Are they still working on it? And yes, they are, and they showed it off, and it looks awesome. So I didn't know it was this long ago, but 5 years ago in 2017, they showed off this game, Witchfire. And when they showed off the teaser, I was like, oh my God, this looks awesome. So we're actually going to watch the teaser real quick right now. And then we're going to compare it to the most recently released trailer. I haven't watched this teaser in probably 5 years. So it'll be cool going back to it. All right, so here we go. As you can see, just the super spooky. You got the skull with the eyes glowing and everything here. Opens up the portal. Look how gorgeous this game still, 5 years later, just looks gorgeous. You'll be able to tell a lot of differences between this and the newer trailer that was released, though. That is to say that like the action and the movement is a lot more frantic. I thought that this was going to be a little bit slower, like a little bit more, you know, we'll say slow paced and managed paced in a way where it's like you're kind of more exploring and then finding enemies. And that could still be the case. There might be a lot of in-between walk-in areas, but for what I saw in the newer trailer, this is one of the things I liked most about the old trailer. This thing like coming to life. What is that thing? It was a great presentation too. They were like, hey, by the way, this is from the Vanishing of Ethan Carter folks, but also the guys who brought you Painkiller and Bulletstorm. You know, guys who like shooty games. So you can see here, like the fighting and stuff is definitely there. But it didn't look so crazy, right? It kind of looked like you could take your time, you could pace yourself, that kind of thing. Now, we're going to jump into the new trailer so you can see the difference. Okay, starting the new trailer here, you can see he's got his gun. It's got some cool, you know, lightning effects on it. As you can see, though, the environment, the surroundings still look really beautiful. It still looks great. I cannot believe it's been 5 years, though. That is insane. Like, it is hard to, like, still make a, you know, keep a game looking good you know, after 5 years of development, when people are like, oh yeah, it's been 5 years, like it already looks old. You know, that's what kept happening with Duke Nukem Forever, right? They kept delaying it because they thought it kept looking old. But I digress. What I was talking about in the previous trailer, look at the action in this. You can tell they've upped the action a bit. It's a little bit more fast-paced. They probably have learned something from, you know, the two Doom games that have released since then. There's a few more enemies on screen. There's a lot more spells being used, which is really cool. And one of the reasons I was super excited about this is like, yeah, this is a world that hasn't been fully explored yet. Like, you remember, you know, the Hexen and Heretics series, you know, those games, they were great, but they didn't really keep going with that theme with the FPS genre. And if they did, like, it was just never really that great. This looks awesome. Like, the enemies look badass. The guns and the spells look badass. The environments look amazing. So this is why this has become like my #1, you know, sought out game during Summer Game Fest here, because this just looks awesome. Man, this is one I cannot wait for. Unfortunately, we still have no idea when it's coming. It just says wishlist now. So if this looks cool to you guys, I definitely recommend going to wishlist it. And I guess we'll just like wait with bated breath on this one to come out. Hopefully it's within the next year. That would be nice. Well, there you go. That's it for Summer Game Fest for me. Like I said, there was 2 hours of games. There's a lot of great stuff in there. And some of the stuff that I shared, you know, is just the stuff that I'm excited about in one shape or another. Even if it's a game I'm not really going to play or check out, you know, more than just watching the trailer. It's stuff that I'm definitely excited to hear more about and excited to see other people play and enjoy. And really, at the end of the day, see how these games come out. You know, that's the interesting thing about E3 is it's always like they show these games that we all get super excited about. They look great, but when they come out, it's like, are they great? I don't know. It's part of the mystery, right? But yeah, really, really looking forward to Witchfire. And I got to say, next week, guys, the new Ninja Turtles game, cannot wait for that to drop for sure. But hey, tell me in the comments what you are looking forward to. What in Summer Game Fest got you excited, if anything? Was it a game I covered? Maybe it was a game I completely missed or dropped the ball on. Let me know in the comments. But hey, guys, hey, you know, thanks for watching as always. And of course, I'll see you all in the next one.